Hello people, 0 to 100 here, and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be reviewing the brand new 2020 BMW F750 GS. The front here, it sports a 110/80 19-inch tire in the front. It has these crossbars, full LED lights and flickers or indicators in the front. It's got standard upright forks, so it's not the upside down forks, it's got the regular forks. Brembo brakes, dual disc in front. Yeah, like I said, the engine is a dual cylinder parallel twin. Yeah, the bike itself is a lot of plastic. The crash bars should do a good job protecting the plastics. It's got a very small windscreen. It's got these standard hand or knuckle protectors. It does have electronic adjustable suspension that you can adjust on the fly, and I'll show you this in a moment, right? But it's only for the rear, it's not for the front. The front is standard shocks, yeah, and I'm not so sure that you can even adjust the front, right? But the back is fully adjustable. Rear tire sports a 150 by 70 17-inch, yeah, single floating disc, Brembo brakes, ABS all round. As you guys know, that's pretty much standard. Final drive on this bike is chain. LED configuration, LED lights in the back. The seat is quite hard, but it does have that jello kind of effect, so it is comfortable, but I've had more comfortable, let me put it that way. Yeah, rear view mirrors are quite small. Wind protection, it's almost like a naked, so it's got a very small windscreen in front, and it hits you. I've pushed this bike already to 150, 160, and it's not all that bad. It's not a showstopper, it's really good, but it's like a naked. You don't have that full wind protection like most of the bikes with touring screens. So you see right over this, as you can see, right? And I'm going to get on the bike and show you guys basically the sitting position on this bike. Very upright, yeah, good visibility of the color display, right? It's got keyless entry, right? So you just press the button once with a keyless entry. It gives you the beautiful color screen with the information. Now this bike has got heated grips, right? You can adjust your modes. It's got rain, road, dynamic, yeah. So dynamic is sports, enduro is off-road, and rain, of course, wet roads, and roads for city riding. Yeah, this particular bike has got 6,419 kilometers. It's got a nice big neutral sign, the ABS, and then it's got cruise control, which is nice. It's got the all famous BMW toggle switch, which I like a lot. Got your settings. You've got Bluetooth connectivity. You've got telephone. You've got media. You've got navigation, my vehicle. So I'm sure you can connect this to your standard Android or um, iOS iPhones. Yeah, let's say. And the information is nice. Yeah, you've got different settings on the heated grips, so 3, 2, 1 and off, right? You've got your ambient temperature, you've got a clock, you've got your rev counter, and you've got, of course, your different riding modes. On the suspension side, over here, you adjust the suspension. Basically, you've got two settings here. So you've got dynamic, which is your sports setting. It's a harder setting, and that's for speeding around corners, a little bit more of a sporty ride. And then you've got road. It's now set on road. Road is a little bit softer, and so forth and so forth, right? You've got ABS. Brakes, I'm not sure you can set or toggle that off. You guys will have to read about that. To start the bike, keyless entry, right? You press on, it goes on. You can also press it on here, but that's how you start the bike. It does not have a bad sound for this 853 cc engine, yeah? Rear view mirrors, really good. Let me show you a little bit about the front of the bike, yeah? So as you can see, it's got a really small windscreen, nothing too major. Simple bike. It's got quick shifter up and down. So I've already tried it. It's working really good. The quick shifter up and down, nice, yeah? So you do not need to engage the clutch, right, to change gears up or down. You do not need to actually release the throttle either for changes up and down. So that works really good. Let's start with the seating position on this bike. She's not a very high bike, so I am completely flat-footed on this bike. I am about 1.8 meters tall, right? Very upright sitting position. Handlebars very wide stance on the bike with the standing position. Suspension feels really light. She goes into gears super smooth. Quick shifter. And quick shifter down. Handling on this bike around corners feels very light. Very light. Very nimble. Yep. Yeah, very nimble, very light. Very easy to maneuver around corners. Power wise, I'm doing 108 now in 4th gear at around 5,500 revs. Wind protection, I don't know if you can hear, but it's like a naked. There's not much wind protection. The front screen is very small, so it really does not do anything for the rider. I am getting a lot of wind buffeting on my helmet. So she maneuvers quite nicely around the corners, but not as good as some of the bikes. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not as used to this small bike. So it's not as confidence inspiring as some of the other bikes that I've tested. I do like the quick shifter though. The quick shifter is great. And I like the fact that you do not need to kind of disengage the throttle, so the throttle can stay accelerated, or you can keep accelerating the throttle to change gears. So I do like the quick shifter. The quick shifter is really smooth. It goes into gear no problem whatsoever. There we go, I'm in 6th gear, doing at 110 kilometers at 4,000 revs. And again, the wind is a lot of wind buffeting, so you can say that this is almost a naked bike. Now, I'm using the clutch there and I didn't need to. So 1st gear, the gears are silky smooth on this bike, silky smooth, yeah. Going into neutral, no problem. The throttle response, excellent. It's got a little bit of small mirrors, yeah. The mirrors are a little bit small, but the visibility is fine, no complaints there. The seat is a little bit hard, yeah. And let's go try out the suspension, because like I said, you can adjust the suspension on the fly here. Right now it's in road, and you can change it to dynamic, so let's leave it on road because it's the softest setting there. Damn traffic lights are always catching me. Power wise, for this little motorbike, well, it's not that little, it's an 853cc engine. There we go, no clutch, takes a little bit of getting used to. Yeah, I'm really interested in the suspension, so let's go take this baby to a bit of a rough terrain or rough road. What's happening? Alright, let's go test out the suspension on this baby. Yeah, the quick shifter takes a little bit of getting used to. You know, you want to automatically think of reaching out for the clutch every time you want to change the gear, but with a quick shifter you really don't have to. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, for sure, right? And I must say, yeah, the screen is perfect. Yeah, I can see very clearly the instrumentation and you know, the flicker indicator, the gears that I'm in. Throttle response is really good. There you see, I grabbed the clutch again, and I guess it's something that you will get used to, because let me just reduce to second. If I want to reduce to second, I just do so, right? I don't have to disengage the throttle or anything, the same as gearing up. I don't need to disengage the throttle or anything, right? It just gears up and gears down, so that's quite nice. Yeah, with the technology today, I mean, myself, I ride a DCT model which is fully automatic, and I question why even have a clutch if you've got the quick shifter, and it's quite seamless. I mean, you don't feel any major jerk unless you have really the throttle engaged quite a bit. then you do feel a little bit of a jerk going into the gears. But other than that, right, you don't feel anything, and you've always got the option to disengage the throttle. So the quick shifter on the BMWs, they've really got it figured out. Yeah, enough about that. My legs are nicely tucked into the tank, so I can see myself riding on this bike for a number of hours before getting tired. And we will do a little bit of a brake test now as well, just to see what she's like. Yeah. So in second gear you can see she's got plenty power, yeah. Plenty torque in second gear. For city riding and for the odd day adventure, and even for those that are interested in doing tours around the Alps and things like that, I mean, this is all you need. Okay, so we're now in a really rough area. Let's see how she does. Let's try out the standing position. Let's put her in fourth. Oh yeah, standing position is really, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm doing off-road adventuring, and in this position the suspension is good. So let's do a sitting ride through these rough tarmac, and oh yes, okay, oh, I must say, yeah, I'm impressed. Nice, nothing wrong. This does not adjust to the condition of the road, so it's like the Africa Twin, right? You've got a adjustable preset that you adjust, but it does not adjust to the conditions of the road like you have on the electronic suspension on the 1250 GS, and you've got on the 850 GS. This is just preload, it's not dampening. But and I can tell you now that the suspension, even in its softest setting, it was good. It was really good. Don't get me wrong here. The suspension is good, but it does not come close to those systems on the BMW 1250 and the 850. Yeah. Let's check out the brakes quickly. Yeah, there's good stopping power. The bike does dip again because it does not have that electronic suspension adjusting to road conditions. So what happens is, on the electronic suspension, what happens is when you do brake like that quite hard, the electronic suspension senses and it gives you a little bit of feeds back into the suspension, so it does not allow the bike to dip so significantly when braking hard. Whereas this bike and most standard bikes with suspension, depending on how hard you have set it, when you brake it will always dip. So that's the difference. Anyway, enough about the suspension. The suspension for this bike is more than adequate. In actual fact, I would say it's very, very good. It does not lack anything. Yeah, the bike itself does not have that much features like some of the other bikes, yeah, with the riding modes you've seen. So it's got basically rain, it's got road, alright, it's got rain, it's got road, it's got dynamic, it's got enduro, and that's it. So that's what you limit to on this bike. Yeah, let's cross this intersection here. No trams. I am surprised with the amount of torque and power that she's able to deliver. Impressive, more than you would need, and I'm really surprised at how she delivers the power. Yes, as you know, the final drive is chain, so she's quick, short gears up, no time into 100. I've pushed her on the motorway at about 160. Like I said, the lack of windscreen, I'm sure maybe you can get aftermarket touring screens, because it looks like it's just 4 screws, and you'd be able to maybe get a longer windscreen that would give you a little bit more protection, because the buffeting on this bike, for me, it is quite uncomfortable, especially if you're doing the open road. Other than that, I really do like what BMW has done with the F750. I like the keyless entry, I like that it's got cruise control, I like that it's got the standard BMW toggle configuration switch. I like the fact that all of the controls are you're able to do on the fly. They are easily reachable, flicker wise, comfort wise. The seat is a little bit hard, but again, not a showstopper. Comfortable handlebars, wide. Gears are silky smooth with a clutch. Silky smooth with a clutch. And even with the quick shifter up and down, no problems in that department. Yeah, brakes superb. Nice comfortable suspension, nice comfortable ride. So honestly, nothing major to fault on this bike. I can't feel, okay, today is quite a cool day, it's 9 degrees, so I can't really feel like some of the other bikes, especially the Triumphs. I get a little bit of heat from the engine when stopped at the traffic lights, and this one here, I don't feel anything whatsoever. The engine is nicely tucked inside. It is a liquid cooled engine as well, right? Here's your high beams, guys. I think this is a good package, right? That is and can do everything. So the long tours, the city riding, it's not a heavy bike, it's not a difficult bike to ride, and I think overall it's quite a good package. Let's go fill her up. Let's take her back to the dealer. Say thank you very much. It was an interesting ride. The buffeting is really bad. It's right in your face. Right, let's put some juice. Oops, I don't want to put in diesel. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Cancel flicker. Get it down to neutral. Perfect. Off. Stand down. That's it. Gotta look for the key now. It's a bit weird because you gotta get off the bike. Normally the key would be in the ignition, but this time around it's in your pocket. So that's my key. Gotta get off both gloves. Yeah. Press the button. Hey, how do I? Alright. You don't need the key. Alright, sorry guys. Looks like you don't need the key to fill her up. Oops. 2 liters. Let's just say thank you and give them 20 bucks worth of fuel, because the guy how does this work? Keyless ride. Let me put this down. Okay, so it's just a matter of pressing. Let me give it a bit of a wipe. Alright, so all done putting the fuel and getting ready to take her back to the dealer. So thank you very much, Liberty Motors, for lending me this test bike. It's been a nice ride. It's been surprisingly good. So the BMW F750 GS, I would say, and I would classify this bike as a really nice entry-level adventure bike for those that want an everyday bike for everyday commuting to work and back. And should you want to do a little bit of rough terrain, you've got the option to do so. Go an adventure on the weekends. I would say this bike's got enough power and enough comfort to do the weekend tours and long tours. So I would say it's a really good all-rounder, and I would definitely recommend this bike because she's not shy in any way. Let's take her back to the dealer. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to be doing a lot more reviews like this of different bikes, real world reviews for you to decide and settle on a bike. I'd appreciate if you could hit the like button if you liked the video, subscribe, play ding dong ding with the bell so you can be notified of the next review that I put up, real world review. It means a lot to have subscribers, it keeps us motivated to keep uploading content free, and that's what it's all about. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. 0 to 100, over and out. Peace.